Well, hello. I'm back. Looks like it's been a month since I put out a video. Been doing a lot of thinking, research, and preparing for winter. And many times, excuse me, I was ready to get up and make a video because there's just so much to talk about. But I want to talk about when. When am I going to see one man stand up? One man who has some type of authority, de facto or non de facto. Authority, a power, a voice, a reach. You see, legally, which is de facto, legally, I have a patent. Now, I should have this patent in virtually every country on this planet. But the powers to be, they made sure that didn't happen. Now, the powers to be worked really hard so that I would not get this patent. They worked real hard. And I eventually got a final office action from the United States Patent and Trademark Office, patent denied. Well, I fought for that patent and I won it. And it only happened because my patent attorney has a big ego. Yeah. But he was part of the conspiracy, part of the efforts, the oppression and the suppression to see to it that I didn't get international patents. And he worked with the examiner against me, and I have the documentation on that. So amazingly, I hold in my hand a patent, a United States patent issued to me. I'll tell you the patent number. US 10,933, 013 space B1. Date of patent March 2nd, 2021. Magic Treehouse. Hey, thank you. It's good to be seen. So I got this patent, right? But what can I do with it? You see, this is for cannabis. This is for marijuana. And this patent is an amazing, based on amazing discovery, right? Because with marijuana formulations, we provide optimal oral health. Is there a problem here? Well, probably for the dental industry, probably for the medical industry, probably for big pharma. Yeah. So these attacks, this oppression and suppression, this gang stalking has gone on since 2015. On the website, oralhealthwithcannabis.com, you can see a good quality image of this picture. This is a man who went into his dentist office for an evaluation. chewed plaque dye disclosing capsules. You can see red, 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 red. Use the mouth rinse for 30 days. He goes back, chews a plaque dye capsule. Night and day difference. The dentist that did that evaluation has been in hiding since 2016, when legally I was facing charges. Criminal enterprise racketeering, controlled substance delivery, manufacturing, marijuana. Another one, substance delivery, manufacturing, marijuana. Felony firearms, maintaining a drug house. Why? Because I was legally a medical marijuana patient in the state of Michigan. Because I was legally a caregiver for other medical marijuana patients in the state of Michigan. Because I have this amazing discovery for oral health, for a condition that science had given up on. It was written in the United States National Library of Medicine, if you have lost gum tissue, it's gone forever, it's not coming back. I have picture evidence from a dentist, independent, that I've never met at that time. When I held those pictures in my hand, I had not met that dentist. That dentist is hiding to this day. No dentist will come forward. The American Dental Association refuses to look at this if a dentist doesn't bring it forward. Now, legally, I have a United States patent. Legally and lawfully, I should be able to be in business. Where are the investors? Where is the lending institution that's going to support me? Where is the government agency, the economic development arm, that's going to support this? 15 million root canal teeth in America every year on average. 15 million root canal teeth. Why do you get a root canal tooth? Because of decay that went to the nerve. Because of a injury that went to the nerve. In most cases, the injury is from the decay caused by poor oral health, from the bacterias and the plaques. And the plaques are a harboring ground for the bacteria, and they're stuck like glue to your teeth and your tissues. 15 million. Every one of them, according to heart surgeon Dr. Thomas Levy, according to his research and his testimony, every root canal tooth is a toxic tooth, is the cause of 90% of heart attacks. 90% of heart attacks is the cause of the majority of breast cancer. can be a cause of virtually any inflammatory disease. Now, I've been everywhere. I've been all over the world, country after country after country. In 2017, after I was done with court and trying to rebuild my life, not knowing that the attacks continue, I'm doing everything I can to get back on my feet. I filed several patents. No, I didn't hire a patent attorney. I didn't need to hire a patent attorney. I filed the patents, several of them. One of them is a beauty. They're all really good. They were all really good. Whether they were patentable or not, it's another issue. I believe that they were. I certainly believe this is. Now, what this is right here, you look at this picture right here, it should kind of show you the whole thing. That's a mini, the size of a mini fridge, except we make a mini freezer. We put a defrost in the door, so you can see through it. All right. Now up on top, this is your evaporation unit, where you're boiling off the solvent. Now that little handle on top flips over, gets out of the way. You pull the top off, and you just keep adding to it. All right. You reclaim your solvents. You reclaim your solvents. Now, I filed for this patent in what does this say here? September 2017. All right. But the United States Patent Office is dogging my patent on cannabis. They're dogging my patent on cannabis. But I'm trying to get on my feet. I'm trying to rebuild my life. I'm trying to improve my position. So I figure the more intellectual property I have, the better my position will be. I was also writing a research proposal. I had no idea how to write a research proposal. I'm enjoying my toxic water. I know you all are too. That's all we get is toxic water, right? Thanks to government, big business, toxic water. Enjoy. I like mine with coffee and heated. Yeah. That's the way I like my toxic water. Magic Treehouse says they will never support this. It's not in their interest. We have to do this ourselves. Don't look for investment from government. Well, I would like investment from anybody, but nobody will, because they're afraid of government, because government attacks this. Government destroys people. So I've called out many. I've called out many. And nobody will report on it. All right. There isn't one lamestream or mainstream or even anybody with a voice in social media. Greg Braden deletes my comments out of his when I comment in his videos. Well, maybe it's not Greg Braden, but when I comment in a Greg Braden video, those comments will disappear when I'm talking about cannabis. Even when he's talking about telomeres and how when the telomeres are gone, cancer forms. And I'm saying, well, cannabis rejuvenates gum tissue. Science says if you have lost gum tissue, it's gone forever. It's never coming back. And yet we rejuvenate gum tissue with cannabis formulations. So could we consider that possibly these anecdotal stories of cannabis curing cancer is not actually just curing cancer, it's rejuvenating telomeres, because Greg Braden's saying that, the telomeres get shorter, 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 until eventually they've lost their protective outer casing, I think, and then they start to morph and do this weird stuff, and that's when cancer forms. So if there's any truth to the numerous anecdotals, which I've witnessed. I had a lady approach me. She was diagnosed with skin cancer. She wanted to know if the oil would help her condition, and she wanted to know if I had it, and I did. And she took it. And then several months later, she came back. She walks into my shop. She says, "Ethan, I don't want any oil. My cancer's gone. I want a joint. I'm going to a concert." So, not just the anecdotals that I hear about, but one that I know about personally. So if Greg Braden, this marvelous brain, this scientist, educator, truther, well, supposed truther, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, as I'm talking about these content providers that refuse to bring this forward. Greg Braden just isn't going to talk about it. Now, Dr. Shiva, he comes out, 31 things he's going to tell you about cannabis. Well, it was about a year earlier he came out, was going to talk about cannabis, and I reached out to Dr. Shiva. Dr. Shiva wants to know if he can call me right back. Well, I'm still waiting for that call. So then fast forward, about a year roughly, and he comes out with another video where he's going to tell us 31 things about cannabis. The truth, not pro, not con. He's a truth, health, freedom fighter. He's a systems guy. I reached out to him again. I got his phone number. I dial it up, and he answers. I thanked him for picking up. I told him who I was. He says, "Can I call you right back?" I said, "Please." Click. I'm still waiting for Dr. Shiva to call me back. Dr. Shiva was live on YouTube, and I got on the live chat, and I asked, "Why does cannabis rejuvenate gum tissue?" And he was responding to some of the questions. And son of a gun, if he didn't respond to mine, oh, he starts tripping all over himself. Starts stammering and stuttering, and maybe I'm embellishing a little bit. Maybe he's not stuttering, but he's certainly stammering. And this is, but we got to be careful about the THC. We got to be careful about the THC. Wait a minute, Dr. Shiva, you're a systems guy. You're not pro. You're not con. What do we got to be careful about the THC for? Why? I have no idea. What you need to be careful about is isolating these cannabinoids like CBD, because when you isolate CBD and you make it a single product and people overuse it, some of them are ending up in the hospital with wasting disease, to the point that there is a researcher assigned a research project to find out why CBD causes wasting disease. Who's going to tell you about that? Ain't going to be Dr. Shiva, I'm pretty sure. And he's not going to tell you about removing calcified plaques, preventing calcified plaques, putting a coating on the teeth that is impermeable to acidics like apple cider vinegar and lemonade and orange juice, grapefruit juice, all that good stuff. He's not going to tell you that. He's not going to tell you that it rejuvenates gum tissue. Why? He's a truth, health, freedom fighter. So now there's another YouTuber out there. He likes to be all positive and upbeat, and I'm going to reserve calling him out by name for the time being. But I'm eventually either going to call him out or I'm going to thank him, because I reached out to him, been commenting in his in his comments in his videos. Finally got a response. Now, this is a guy who says he's not afraid. He's all positive energy, bringing truth forward. He's also calling out Greg Braden. He is. He knows about me. He knows about optimal oral health with cannabis. He knows about the oppression and the suppression and the attacks. You think he's going to do a talk on it? Do you think he's going to have me on as a guest to tell you about it? It would appear not. It would appear that it's too big of a risk. That this man who's not afraid, tells you the truth, feels it's too big a risk. That sounds to me like that's fear, and he's not going to tell you the truth. But maybe he'll have a spiritual moment. Maybe he'll get brave, and he'll tell you. Now, in the description of this video, you can find a link to a previous video where I was in recently to the Village Kalkaska Police Department, because there's numerous crimes that happen in the village of Kalkaska. Now, the chief of police, the village manager, decides to interrupt my report and start questioning me. Asked me, do I live in the village? I said, no. Then he wants to tell me that I just, how did that go? Do I live in the village? I said, no. I'm talking about crimes that occurred in the village. I don't have to live in the village for the crimes in the village that relate to me have anything to do with whether or not I live in the village. But you can go and listen to that little segment and watch how he twists that around. he starts making things up. And then he's going to tell me nicely. He says, I'm telling you nicely, pack up and get out. Telling me nicely. Was that a veiled threat? I think it was. Felt like it. So let's see. At 12 minutes and 5 seconds in, this is only a 13-minute, 37-second video. I'm going to play this little clip here. Talk more. It happened in the court. It happened at the sheriff. Okay. I went and met with the. I've got over 190 videos on this now. Okay. It's gotten you nowhere. So why do you think all of a sudden? It's gotten you nowhere. So why do you think all of a sudden? Well, police chief, because I have never had any interaction with the village, with the police department, or its police officers. But I've had enough from the sheriff's department, which is in the jurisdiction of the village. The prosecutor's office, which is in the village of Kalkaska jurisdiction. The courthouse. The county clerk. I've had enough. So I'm here to tell you about it. We'll keep playing. It's going to change. You're in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. You do not have any authority whatsoever over the judge of this county. He has no authority whatsoever over a judge. That broke up. I'm going to hit that again. You have no jurisdiction to deal with it. If the prosecutor is committing crimes, if the police are committing crimes in the village of Kalkaska, you have no jurisdiction to deal with that. Have a good day. All right. Well, I didn't back up far enough. All right. Who's going to stand? I can't get a man to go with me to do what I did. That recording that you just heard, I can't get a man to go with me. I couldn't get a man to go with me to do that. When I went in to talk with the sheriff, I couldn't get a man to stand with me, just to record, just to be a witness. All right, now when I was in court, I couldn't even get my defense attorney to stand with me. My defense attorney was there that day. My defense attorney was in that courtroom that day defending another man. My understanding is that man was given immunity if he would testify against me. I was the last case heard. That courtroom was empty. Me, my wife, the prosecuting attorney, the judge, and the sheriff's bailiffs. Couldn't even get my defense attorney to stand with me in court. He was paid. He decided to stand with another man that was given immunity to testify against me. I want to know when it ends. I want to know when. I want to know when one dentist will come forward. One medical provider. One congressman. One senator. One state representative. It's not going to be Gary Peters here in Michigan. It's not. It's not going to be Jack Bergman. It's not going to be Dar Rendon. It's not going to be Gretchen Whitmer. In Michigan, legally, there is medical marijuana and recreational marijuana. During lockdown, when Whitmer put restrictions to the point that you could go in the store in the springtime, but you could not go down the seed aisle. You could not go down the seed aisle. You could not purchase seeds for your garden. You know, your carrots and your onions, your tomatoes, and lettuce, cucumbers, all that stuff. And businesses were closed. The cannabis businesses were deemed and declared by the governor of Michigan to be essential during lockdown when you couldn't buy seeds. Well, here in Michigan, we have a breakthrough discovery for optimal oral health. But my dentist office tells me if I talk about it in their office again, I am banned for life. That dentist is outside of Kalkaska. Now, there's 3 dentists here in Kalkaska. I've been into all 3 dentist offices. Crickets, cold shoulder. Why? You know why. Fear. When is anybody going to get over the fear? Who's going to stand with me? Who's going to support me? Are you giving me a thumbs up on this video, or are you too afraid? Are you going to make a comment in the comments on this video, or are you too afraid? Will you share this video, or are you too afraid? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, will you subscribe, or are you too afraid? Will you donate me $1? Today's November 2nd. I can't pay the electric bill. Can't pay the internet bill. I can't pay the utilities. And that's my cost of living, basically. That's it. I can't go into business because I have no money. I have many talents, many skills. I can't get hired anywhere. Now, I was offered a roof job here recently, but I couldn't take it on. This thing's, I think it's a 1512. I mean, that's steep, which I'd rather really work on a 1512 than a 312. 312s like this, you're always bent over, you're crunched. On a real steep roof, well, you're on jacks. 2x6s is what you're standing on. Well, it's not a lot, but you're more upright. But if it was a new roof, that would have been a different story. But this was a strip off and redo. And it was at a time when I'm bringing in firewood, when I'm harvesting my plants, winter's coming. my associates, my former friends, my former associates that are in the construction business won't give me a day's work. Why? They're afraid of government. So afraid of government, they're willing to suffer with poor oral health and let everybody else suffer with poor oral health and let me suffer over here in stinking poverty. And one of the things I've been trying to accomplish since 2015 was to breed some seeds, not just regular cannabis seeds, but special seeds. When you take an autoflower plant and you pollinate it with cannabis, you get a special seed. You get a seed that will produce a plant that will flower in August, that you can harvest in September. So when you're growing outdoors, especially in a climate like northern Michigan, you want your plants to finish early. And growing outdoors is where you're going to get your best product. You're going to have your best grow. You're going to have the least amount of problems. Indoor grows are filled with problems, and the marijuana that's produced today is causing allergic reactions. And I never heard of allergic reactions from cannabis until recent times. And so I'm very suspicious of the fact that it's the way it's grown indoors with all the chemical additives and the unnatural light and all the vibrations that are not natural vibrations, not the natural energy for that plant. And so now you got people with allergic reactions, but hey, it's tracked from seed to sale. Tracked from seed to sale. All for your benefit, all for your health. And all those costs are added in there. So you see, a regular autoflower plant, it's known as ruderalis. Your three species of cannabis is your indica, sativa, and ruderalis. The ruderalis is an autoflower. They do not grow very large. They are not big producers. And they are not triggered from veg to flower by the change in daylight. They're triggered by the clock from when you pop that seed. However, when you take a cannabis sativa or indica male plant and pollinate that autoflower, you get a special kind of seed. You get a seed that's going to grow a marijuana plant that's going to grow close to the size of a normal marijuana plant. And you can clone it. An autoflower you cannot clone. So you can clone it. It's going to grow to be a producer. And you're going to harvest it in September before you're dealing with the nasty weather. Which in outdoor grows, that's your biggest problem, is that fall weather. The rains, the cold temperatures, will bring on the bud rot and bring on the powdery mildew. But if you can harvest in September, you can avoid all of that. And seeds are expensive. Now, in this bag here, this is all seeds. That's from this fall's harvest. And there's a lot more to come because I got plenty more bud to break up to get the seeds. I have a United States patent. I live in Michigan, where marijuana is legal for recreational. It's legal for medical. What am I supposed to do? Huh? What am I supposed to do? I should be planting farm fields, thousands of acres. What do you think government's going to think about that, huh? I gave a good petition to the DEA when I was a slave. I did. I gave a real good petition. Cannabis should be classified as essential. It rejuvenates lost gum tissue. When I discovered this, it was written in the United States National Library of Medicine, if you have lost gum tissue, it's gone forever. It's not coming back. That's a fact. When government decided to throw me into the system with all those criminal charges in the month of May 2016, another branch, the National Institute of Health, decides to ignore my information and fund $1.8 billion to rejuvenate gum tissue, but do it under a false title so that it doesn't get my attention. And the title of that study was Revolutionizing the Root Canal. And in 2018, when they had expended that 1.8 billion and failed to rejuvenate gum tissue, the examiner with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, dealing with my application, contacts my patent attorney and wants me to drop all my claims, and he's going to suggest a claim for me that he believes will issue. This claim is a poison. Now, maybe the patent office would have given me a patent on that. So the same month that the sheriff's department sends his men over here to get me, put me in handcuffs, haul me away to face all those charges, the National Institute of Health funds $1.8 billion to find another way to do it. And fast forward a couple more years, and I have a final office action from the United States Patent and Trademark Office saying denied. Well, I have a copy of the phone records from the conversation with the patent office examiner and my patent attorney. I have the email correspondence from the patent office examiner to my patent attorney. Why did my patent attorney work with the patent office examiner to run me through the mill, to bill me and bill me and bill me? And then ultimately, I get issued a final office action denied. How come my patent attorney at the onset didn't go contact the head of the United States Patent and Trademark Office and say, hey, we got a problem here? In 2017, when I was writing patents and filing patents and writing a research proposal and reaching out all over the world, trying to find a partner, I got a commitment from an outfit in Canada. that was setting up in Jamaica, that was in the cannabis business, that wanted to engage with me. And I believe they had 16 million in private investment. And what does the United States government do? Froze their bank accounts. It took them a year to get over that. I made it to Jamaica in January 2019. What happened? Oh, well, that outfit out there in Jamaica just had one problem after another with the licensing authority until I had to come back because I was paying my way over there. It wasn't being funded. It wasn't being supported. I come back, I got less than $100 in my pocket. My friends don't want to be my friends now. My family doesn't want to be family anymore. My poor wife, she can't deal with it. She can't deal with what these parasites have done, how they've affected us. In the 41 years of marriage, she says, goodbye. You got to fix this. I was in June 2019. I want to know when. So I've been doing a lot of thinking. A lot of thinking. I'm going to take a look at the comments here. Excuse me. Hey, Nick. How do you get your hands on some of my oils for oral health? You're going to have to make them yourself or find somebody that can make it for you. And I'll talk about that if I don't forget. I'll talk more about that. They don't want anyone doing good unless they can control you. Well, it's a little worse than that. A little worse than that. Rosamond. Thanks for being here, everybody. Lost my train of thought. So I've been doing a lot of thinking, and some of my more recent videos were about empowering the people. Because you see, you have the right to travel. You have the legal court cases on your side. You got the right to carry. You got the Second Amendment. It's the home of the brave, the land of the free, liberty. But we're also dumbed down, brainwashed, enslaved with a stupid driver's license that you don't need. Registration doesn't apply to you. You don't need it. Tags and all the codes, all the statutes, all this that doesn't apply to you. But you spend your time living in fear, getting harvested. So I thought, well, there's enough energy that if a group would come together with a right to travel, right to carry, with First Amendment auditors on board, documenting everything, You be very well organized, take advantage of all the assemblies, map out your route. Notify the assemblies that you're coming through, when and where. Contact the sheriff of every county you're going to go through. Let them know you're coming. Contact all those policy enforcers and let them know there will be no harvesting the right to travel, right to carry caravan. Because these are men that are willing to die for their rights. And because they have a duty to defend their rights. So I thought if we could create a right to travel, right to carry caravan, we could show the American people that they have the right to travel and the right to carry and stop being harvested by these road pirates. That hasn't happened yet. But that's what people need. They need to be shown. How many people have gone down all kind of rabbit holes with Hauser, with Strait, with Von Rice, Yusuf, on and on and on. And how much time have you spent listening to fearmongers like David Nino Rodriguez and Red Pill 78 that ain't going to tell you shit? Oh, and those are also guys that aren't going to tell you about oral health with cannabis. They're not. So we got assemblies all over this land. Some of these assemblies have formed grand juries, but we have no law enforcement. And I put out plenty of videos talking about sheriff, why you should run for sheriff, how you can deal with your sheriff with the Americans Notice of Liability. Americans Notice of Liability, the best way to use that, in my opinion, is to serve it on your sheriff. Its value does not end there. I showed you about prepaid first-class mail. I showed you how to get recognized as a foreign national to the United States with a 2-cent stamp. Why? To empower you. What are we going to do now? Well, I have an idea. We find the weakest link in the chain and break it. You got some 3,000 counties in this country. Where's the weakest one? Where's a sheriff who wants to be constitutional but keeps getting led astray by guys like Sheriff Mack? Where is that one? Where is the weakest link? And the lions come from all over the country. And First Amendment auditors stand with the people in that county to face that sheriff. And make that sheriff realize that he's going to do what the people want done, or he's going to end up behind his bars. That's it. Ain't such a big deal. Citizens arrest, doing your duty, getting what you want, your liberty, your freedom. One county. Do it in one county. What county? Wayne County, Detroit? No. No, you find yourself a weak link somewhere. And you get the First Amendment auditors there, and they will show the American people what life is like in an unincorporated county, a lawful county. And then maybe the right to travel, right to carry caravan will start in that county. So it's simple, people. You just need to stand. You sent me a link a while back to Nick Elevar, Good Lion TV. I don't know if I don't remember that link or where you sent it, but if anybody wants to report on this, that's what I'm about. But nobody's gonna, at least not yet. And we got all these truthers out there don't want to tell you the truth. Where is one cannabis attorney anywhere in this country that wants to take on this case? Huh? Where's one? My direct losses are 70 trillion on the mouth rinse alone. Treble damages. All you greedy parasite attorneys. 70 trillion treble damages just on one product, the direct loss on one product. What about the business I would have built around that one product? What about the cannabis business I would have built around that one product? What about the manufacturing businesses I would have created with my other patents and my knowledge in manufacturing and underwriters laboratory certifications? What about that? What about the defamation of character? What about shutting down international banking? What about all the numerous attacks from government? $70 trillion just on one item. Parasite cannabis bar attorneys. There ain't one of you going to come forward and take this case, is there? No, why? Because you don't want your life destroyed. You just want to be part of destroying lives. I want to know when. I want to know when one person is going to come forward. When one man will stand with me. Because if one man will stand with me, another man will stand with us. But I think the probability of dealing with the weak link in the system, find that weak county, find that strong sheriff, get in there and take care of business, unincorporate that county, and then call me, because then I'll have a county where I can grow, where I can manufacture, where I can produce. You want to know something else about this United States patent? You want to know something else about this? That's a United States patent. That's not a Michigan patent. It's not a Kentucky patent. It's not a Florida patent. United States patent. It's America. We have states that outlaw cannabis, recreational or medical. Outlawed. It's illegal. Can't have it. In any state that's allowing it, you got to have license. Oh, you got to have all kind of license. You got to have a processor's license. You got to have a grower's license. You got to have a retail license. You got to have a transportation license where you got to move it in an armored vehicle. I mean, come on. every state that allows it, all these licenses, seed to sale tracking. But can you get a trademark? Can you get a United States trademark? No, you can't. You got to get a trademark in every state. Something got to change. Something really got to change. So how about it? Think about it. All you people formed your assemblies. What'd you form them for? Go on, incorporate your county. Find that weak link and show the American people how it's done. And that'll be the first domino. And then it'll be across all 50 states. Own your authority. You can do it. All right, now, give me a thumbs up. I know you got the cojones. I know you got it deep inside you. Give me a thumbs up. Put something in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to help the algorithms. Do it to help yourself. This message is for you. My videos are all for you. I have nothing to sell. I don't sell anything. My knowledge, I don't sell it. I give it away. All right. Question was, how do I get my hands on some of your oils? I don't have oil for myself. I cannot take care of my own oral health with cannabis because I don't have oil. Now, I just had a harvest. Now, it was a small harvest because my plants were late going in, but I was lucky, so lucky by the grace of God. I managed to get lucky, and I got some plants, some seedlings in June. You'd like to put them out 2 foot tall in June. It makes a difference, like 10 to 20 times the volume. So anyways, I got a small harvest, and I have enough to actually make some oil, which I want. Very much do I want. But I don't have money for the solvent. I don't have money for the solvent. Now, I want to make a video showing my process. I've been wanting to put a video out for you folks all these years, but I haven't been in a position to do it. I haven't been in a financial position. I haven't been in possession of the materials that are required until now. Who was brave enough to donate some money? I need to keep the lights on. I need to keep the internet on. I need to keep the phone working. I need to keep the website up. I need a few things repaired. I need some money. I want to work. I want to be productive. I want to make you video. If you can afford it, are you brave enough to make a donation for you, for America, for the world? Do you know that nobody will infringe on my patent? Nobody will infringe on my patent. That is hilarious to me, because that's one of the biggest problems that people with patents have, is that they get infringed on. Big business, big money, just walk all over you, and then some court settlement at a later date. Nobody will infringe on my patent. And of course, my patent attorney conspired with these other two bar attorneys down here in Ann Arbor to make sure that I didn't get my international patents. So it's open. It's open outside the United States of America. And I share my trade secrets. Not only can anybody read my patent, I share my trade secrets. I share my knowledge. And has anybody brought this forward in any country, anywhere on this planet? Not to my knowledge. Why? Fear. Fear, fear, fear. You guys like living in fear? Do you like having bad breath? Do you like having rotten teeth? Do you like going to the dentist? Do you like losing your teeth? Do you like seeing grandma and grandpa losing their teeth? I bet you don't. Well, I want to know when. All right, folks. I think I'm going to end it here. I love y'all. Praying for y'all. I'm fighting for y'all. And I'm begging. I'm begging. I'm begging for your support. I'm pleading for your support. I'm asking for your support. I'm trying to do it with as much integrity as I can. Thank you, everybody. I'll be back. Bye for now.